and welcome to London. So I am so excited to be in London. It's been almost 16 years since the last time I was here, other than I was at Stansted in 2019 to fly to Croatia, but that doesn't count because it's not technically in London. But yeah, I'm here. I'm so excited. I have a lot to do and not a whole lot of time to do it. I'm only here for a few days. So yeah, originally I was supposed to start my trip here, but then I ended up changing it the last minute to go to Portugal first. So the main thing I want to do is tomorrow, and if you look behind me, there should be a hint right there. But anyway, today I'm just gonna go out and explore. Some people might be like, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Well, there's some things I'm intentionally skipping because I did them 16 years ago and I remember them, so I don't want to waste the money or the time right now. I know I'll be back in London at some point. Hopefully it doesn't take me another 16 years to get here. But yeah, welcome to London. We're gonna have a few days here, and let's go. As I mentioned, I've been to London before, so there were certain things I didn't get to during my first visit that I wanted to make sure that I checked out this time. The first of these sites was the Tower Bridge. The Tower Bridge is commonly mistaken and called London Bridge, but the actual London Bridge is very anticlimactic and frankly dull. You'll see it a bit later in this video. The Tower Bridge was built between 1886 and 1894 and crosses the River Thames near the Tower of London. It's 240 meters in length and was originally opened using hydraulic power before being converted to an electro-hydraulic system in 1972. The bridge is accessible to both vehicles and pedestrians with 40,000 crossings a day. You can go inside the bridge and walk across the walkways above the traffic below. It's actually pretty cool to see the cars and pedestrians below while looking through the glass panels. The tower access also offers unbeatable views of the London skyline. With your ticket, you're also given access to the engine rooms to see the historic engines that once powered the bridge lifts. Tickets are £11.40 and can be purchased online or in person. I went in the late morning and had a lovely time exploring the tower. It wasn't too busy, but I can imagine during the high tourist summer months that it can get quite crowded, so plan your visit accordingly. The last time I was in London, I went to the Tower of London, so I skipped it on this visit, but if you've never been, I highly recommend it. The tower has an incredible history, but many people know it for housing the crown jewels. So when I was 16, this is really kind of the first area I was in London. And I have a photo with this. So it's definitely different though. Skyline's changed, I think, a little bit. But I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It's been 16 years. I was 16 when I came here, and it's been 16 years since. If you are a theater buff, make sure to visit Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. The original theater was destroyed by fire in June 1613, and the second Globe Theatre was dismantled in 1642. In 1997, this modern reconstruction of the Globe was built approximately 230 meters from the original theater. Today, the theater is lively and offers visitors tours and productions of Shakespeare's greatest works. When I visited, they were actually in rehearsal for an upcoming production, so we were unable to take photo or video of the rehearsal process. But we did get to see a scene or two, which was pretty impressive. Harry Potter fans may recognize many locations throughout London that make an appearance in the 8 films. The Millennium Bridge is a steel suspension pedestrian bridge with construction beginning in 1998, with the initial opening in June 2000. Only a couple days after the initial opening, the bridge was closed again for almost 2 years, so modifications could be made to keep the bridge stable and stop swaying. The bridge reopened in February 2002. The bridge is famously seen in the opening scenes of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, where the Death Eaters attack the bridge, causing it to collapse. From one Harry Potter filming location to another, Leadenhall Market is a popular place to visit in the city. It's one of the oldest markets in London, dating from the 14th century. The market has vendors typically open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and also seems to be a popular spot after work for people to grab a pint or two. The market makes a brief appearance in the first Harry Potter movie, Harry Potter and the Philosopher or Sorcerer's Stone. It was used to represent the area of London near the Leaky Cauldron in Diagon Alley. The next day, I went to Leavesden Studios in Watford to visit the Harry Potter studio tour. I have a separate video highlighting my experience at the studio. Depending on when you watch this video, either be sure to look out for it later this week or check out the video in the iCard above. The next day, I walked through the West End in the morning. As a former theater kid, seeing all the marquees was so exciting. I didn't have plans to see a show on this trip, although that changed as you will see later, but I definitely have a list of shows that I want to see the next time I'm here. Since it was a little rainy in the morning, I headed over to the Harry Potter Photographic Exposition. This was a seasonal exhibit, so it's no longer open, but I still wanted to feature it here so others can see. I originally wasn't planning on visiting because I had just done the studio tour the day before. However, I'm really glad that I did go and that I went the day after the studio tour versus before. Since I had all the knowledge and insights into the movies from the day prior, it made me appreciate this exhibit even more. The exhibit had rare and never before seen production photos and videos from the making of the movies. It sort of peeled back the curtain a little bit more and was actually really interesting and an exciting experience. The staff on hand were also fantastic and were able to answer any questions visitors may have had. The production photos came from all 8 movies, plus there was a section dedicated to the then new Fantastic Beasts movie. The exhibit was located in the Covent Garden area, so it was pretty centrally located to many sites in London. Even though it was a limited time experience, I hope that it is brought back in the future or added in some way to the studio tour. It was a really nice experience that many Harry Potter and in general movie making fans would be interested in. Keeping on the Harry Potter train, I quickly hopped over to the Australia House. I couldn't go inside, but the lobby was used in the first Harry Potter movie as the lobby of Gringotts. The interior was rebuilt at the studio for the later movies when it was, spoiler alert, destroyed after the Golden Trio broke into the bank. The Covent Garden Market was once a former fruit and vegetable market, but is now a popular shopping and tourist site. It's located on the eastern fringe of the West End and is a fun place to grab some souvenirs, food, drink, and even catch a game or two on the television. When I visited, there was some sort of football game going on, so it was pretty crowded, and there was a lot of cheering at points. But this just added to the fun and firmly solidified that I need to come back to London for a longer period of time, and soon. On my way to the next stop, I walked through Chinatown. I wish I had more time to dedicate to exploring Chinatown, but I definitely will the next time I'm in this city. The next stop wasn't featured in the Harry Potter movies, are we seeing a trend here? But it's heavily part of the Harry Potter universe. The House of Mina Lima, located in the heart of Soho, showcases the graphic art of the Harry Potter universe, including the films plus the Fantastic Beasts movies. Graphic designers Miafora Mina and Eduardo Lima, aka Mina Lima, are behind creating all of the wonderful pieces featured in the movies, such as the Daily Prophet, textbooks, treat boxes, and more. The shop features designs featured in and also inspired by the movies, but also has other illustrative works for famous children's works such as Snow White, The Wizard of Oz, and so much more. Whether you're a Harry Potter fan or a fan of illustration in general, I definitely recommend a visit to the shop. There may be a short queue outside to enter, but don't let that deter you. I believe I spent about 15 minutes waiting outside, but once you're inside, it's a really cool place to see. Rounding out my very busy day, I made a quick stop in Piccadilly Circus, one of the busy intersections in London. I didn't stay long, just enough to say hello, and got out. I would be remiss not to mention that a few scenes from Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 were filmed in Piccadilly Circus, and production actually had to shut down the area in order to do the scenes. Apparently it was a pretty big production effort, but it was well worth it in my opinion. As I made my way to Paddington Station to see the Paddington Bear statue, I walked through Hyde Park, the largest of the 4 royal parks. I wish I had more time to relax and read a book or something, but it's definitely on my London bucket list for next time. My last full day in London was just as busy as the previous day. I started out my day by catching the matinee of 222 A Ghost Story, featuring at the time Tom Felton aka Draco Malfoy. I actually purchased my ticket about 1 hour before curtain and still got a decent seat. After the play, which was very good, I walked over to Trafalgar Square, which is a public square laid out in the early 19th century. It's a pretty popular meeting spot for people, and it was actually where the final Harry Potter movie premiered. It also makes a very brief cameo in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince in the opening montage. I next walked over to Scotland Place. This was, as you guessed it, another location featured in the Harry Potter films. You first see it as the visitor's entrance to the Ministry of Magic in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, where Harry and Mr. Weasley used the phone booth to enter the Ministry. The phone booth was only put there for the production. We see the location featured again in Deathly Hallows Part 1 when Harry, Ron, and Hermione sneak into the Ministry by stunning the employees. Continuing my speed run, which I don't recommend normally, but my time was very limited, of seeing sights, I walked by 10 Downing Street. Boris Johnson was the Prime Minister at this time, which tells you how long it's taken me to edit this. Then I walked by Big Ben before walking over the Westminster Bridge to get a better view of the Palace of Westminster. The Palace of Westminster is the meeting place for the House of Commons and the House of Lords. The palace is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and was originally built in 1016 when it became the primary residence of the Kings of England. A fire destroyed the royal apartments in 1512, and an even greater fire in 1834 destroyed the palace further. The palace was rebuilt from 1840 to 1876. It was hit by multiple bombs during World War II but was renovated. Today you can take tours at Westminster, which is on my list for next time for sure. Along the walkway where you can see the Palace of Westminster from across the river is the National COVID Memorial Wall. This wall honors individuals who unfortunately passed from COVID over the past few years. People can honor their loved ones by writing their name in an empty heart. It truly is a beautiful way to honor those who lost their lives and a place for loved ones to reflect. I then walked over to the London Eye. I did this the last time I was in London, so I didn't feel the need to do it again, but I do recommend it for first-time visitors. It's a great way to see London and on a clear day offers incredible views of the city below. On my way over to Buckingham Palace, I walked by the Westminster Abbey. The Abbey has had 16 royal weddings, including the wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton in 2011. When I walked over to Buckingham Palace, much of it was closed off in preparation of Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee. It's weird now to see the videos from my time because Her Majesty passed in September 2022, but I am glad to have had some of the happier moments saved. King's Cross Station is a highlight for any Harry Potter fan. The interior platforms 4 and 5 are renumbered 9 and 10, so the brick wall in between them could be used as a gateway to platform 9 3/4. The station was featured in many of the films and is a popular stop for fans. There is even a shop in the station and a place where you can have your photo taken with a trolley going through the wall. However, if you want to see the exterior shots as seen in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, you only need to cross the street to St. Pancras Station. The exterior to this station fits the theme of the movies a bit more than the exterior of King's Cross, which is why it was chosen for the movie. If you're taking the Eurostar from Belgium, France, and the Netherlands into London, this is the station you will arrive into. My final stop was to Claremont Square. This beautiful area of houses was seen in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 as 12 Grimmauld Place, the home to Sirius Black and the headquarters of the Order of the Phoenix. As you can see, I had a busy but wonderful time in London. There's so much to see and do here, and I will be back, probably sooner rather than later. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more travel content, and give me a follow on Instagram at Katie Sputo and on TikTok at Katie Does Travel. I'll be back soon with another video. Thank you again, and remember to wander far and wander often.